Okay, so here's the challenge. I'm making something for a buddy of mine named Evan. He wants something for his pool to help the filtration system be a little bit more efficient than what it already is. So what we have here is a spring-loaded contraption that will go into the filtration system, and this little paddle here will extend out and give it a little bit more reach of pulling the leaves and debris that float on top of the pool into filtration system, so that way you don't have to clean it as often. So we have this bottom spring holder here. The spring will slide down in it. Then you have this shield piece that'll slide over top of those. This arm will slide in between the spring holder and the shield. That way it'll hold it in place and it doesn't slide down to the bottom. So that the whole purpose of these two shields here is just to keep this arm in the middle where it needs to be. And then we have this adapter that goes over this, and these little pegs keep it so that way the adapter doesn't just slide out. And we have the front paddle here, and it's split into three pieces just because the printer can only make something a certain size, and I wanted this to be able to reach more than a foot or half a foot, whatever it may be. So I split it into three sections, so in total it'll be roughly 2 feet long, and they will connect together with these brackets with some screws and nuts just to hold everything in place and make sure everything stays rigid. So if we pull up this animation here and we press play, you can just kind of get an idea of how everything is supposed to go together. Like I said, this will slide over, the spring goes in, the adapter goes over, and then everything kind of quickly just goes back. And once it's all put together, it'll look like this. And that's the goal, that's the end goal, and it'll go in the filtration system like I said. So all we have left to do is print everything out. So I will talk to you guys when that's finished. Okay, everything is printed out and ready to go. It took about 20 hours total, not too bad. We have the two pieces for the spring that I talked about earlier that I purchased, the two covers, 4 guard plates, the arm, the adapter, and the 3 paddles. And all of that will get put together with some number 6 screws, some washers, some nuts, and a screwdriver. That's all you need. So, without further ado, let's get right into it. Alright, she is all set up and ready to go. The last step is to take it over to Evan's house and install it. So let's head on over. Okay, since we were using the waterproof case for the camera, the audio got a lot more muffled than what I wanted it to be. So I'm just going to kind of explain everything that's going on with the rest of the video and just going to talk over everything. So that right there is the first piece that we put into the filtration system. We pressed the two bottom black pieces together, the spring holders, and then it just pushes its way into the filtration system. And once you let go of the force of the spring, pushes it back up and keeps it in place pretty nicely. And then you'll see here we have coming up the next piece of the paddle. It just goes over the hooks, and you'll notice that we use a stick to kind of hold it in place. That's just because he wanted it to be a little bit more room so that it was able to move around, just so, because he was planning to get a rubber ring to go around it to keep it in place better, and that way if he wants to move around he can, and to keep everything from kind of just grinding on each other and wearing itself down. So the way to make this the most efficient is to put it at a 45-degree angle. That's what we found. There could be better options, but we found about a 45-degree angle being the best way to pull stuff in. And then coming up in a few seconds, we're going to have the camera actually showing you what it would be like if a leaf or whatever was floating up on top of the pool, the path it would take and what it would look like going into the filter. So you'll see it'll glide along the front paddle, and once it gets to that little gap at the front, even though there is a gap, it's not going to go through that. It's going to go into the filter because the filter has enough suction power pulling stuff in that it will just go straight in. And as you can see with the camera, it'll glide along the front paddle like that and make its way into the filter. Okay, so now what we have here is some footage of the leaves and stuff. We just threw some leaves in the pool just to show you what it would be like from the other side, from our point of view. And as you can see, the leaves floating on top get sucked into the filtration system like so. And we have another one coming up here, I believe, right now. So it was just quick little footage. There wasn't a lot of stuff in this pool. We just cleaned it up before I came, but you can kind of get an idea of what the stuff looks like as it goes in. So it worked. It was a successful project. I'm happy with how it turned out. I thought it was a lot of fun to do and a good idea to make. And I'd like to say thank you to Evan for coming up with this project and challenging me to make it for him. Like I said, I had a lot of fun making it. It was a blast throughout the entire process. And if you guys have your own ideas of stuff that you want me to make, leave a comment down below and I will try my best. I have some of my own ideas that I'm trying to make come alive, and I have one project now that I'm working on. So if you want to see that, stay tuned. Very shortly I will have that finished, and thank you again for watching.
Smoke your cigarettes and hide behind your silhouette. I knew you had another man, knew I should have left. It's something I regret too, things that you slept through, nights where I